Aw, man, I am so excited to do this for you guys.
Threes that I love so dear, bring the power of a new era to me!
What is going on, guys? It is Mack from Team Car Fighters United coming at you with another deck profile. This time it is not just any old deck profile. This is a deck profile of the new Spike Brothers clan leader. Let's go ahead and put that up by the camera. I'm using my phone now, so this actually should look a lot better than how my old camera used to look. So yeah, I am now the Spike Brothers clan leader. I am very proud of that title. And now I am going to go ahead and go through the profile. It's a little different from what it was when I actually got it. Before, when I actually got the title, I ran him still. I don't run him anymore, but that's the only change that I made. So, it's all good. Alright, now, let's go ahead and get into this. So first of all, I sleeved this, and I keep it in my stride zone. So, very nice. Alright, so first, we're going to go over strides first, and then we'll go into the actual main deck, just so as I'm going through main deck, I can explain things and combos and not have to wait for strides. So, first things first, I run 4 Supernovas. I used to run 2 and 2 Caligula. I took Caligula out. Oh, excuse me. So now I run 4 Supernova. Let me put the other 3 up here. So, Supernova is, wow, this is like beautiful. Choose a face down card from your G zone, turn it face up. When it attacks a Vanguard, you can pay the costs. Choose the same number of your rear guards as you have Supernovas in the G zone, and they become charging. Then if 4 more of your rear guards are charging, then all units get plus 10. I don't ever use that second part because I don't run a charged deck. So this is basically just there to fix bad hands, like having units with charge in your hand that are just clogging, because I do run a few of those, and it's there to have a stride to go into that doesn't cost a counterblast and get stuff done. So, very good card. I run it at 4 now, because Caligula, for the 1 counterblast and the 2 cards in soul, it wasn't really worth using. Next, I run 1 Picaro, as always, GB3, counterblast 2, flip a G unit face up, and choose a card from your hand and put it in the soul. When it attacks a Vanguard, search for 1 card from your deck for each face-up card in your G-Zone and call them to open rear guards and shuffle. He is very good for later, for just combo plays, so run him at 1 just because you don't really want to use him more than once, but he's good in those situations. 2, Temerarious Cataclysmic Rogue, Hellheart 8. I don't know why they decided to change his name like that, but I run 2 of the GB8. His ability is, when a unit attacks, choose one of your units, and until the end of the turn, it gets 10,000 power, and rear guard, choose this unit and a card from your hand and put them into your soul. At the end of the battle, if this unit attacked or boosted, you can pay that cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card, call it to an open rear guard, and shuffle your deck. This card is the basis of the entire deck and what the playmat is. He is dumb, because for every card in your hand, that's an attack or a boost. And you get here very early with this deck. So, 2 of that. Then next stride is 2 Dudley Geronimo. Once per turn, act, counterblast 1, and flip a copy of himself face up. If you have a heart card with Dudley in its card name, till end of turn, it gets Vanguard skill. Whenever your rear guard attacks, it gets plus 5,000 power, and then it goes to the bottom of the deck. Then, if the number of face-up cards in your G-Zone is 2 or more until the end of the turn, it also gets your rear guards can attack from the back row. Now, that was errata that actually you have to attack a Vanguard if they're in the back row, but very good card. I don't go into it often, but when I do, it still wins games. So I do still run 2 of him just because he's a good card. Next, on to G-Guards. That's all of the strides. That's it. So we run 3 of the new G-Guard. King of Interference, Terrible Linus. Oh, Lord, let's not have the what's it called? Tripod fall over. Okay, so he's a GB1 G-Guard, so you can't use him straight away. His ability is choose a face-down G-Guard from your G-Zone and turn it face up. When it is placed on Guardian, you can pay the cost if you do. Choose one of your rear guards, and you may put it into your soul, so you don't have to put it into your soul. It gets plus 10,000 power until the end of that battle for every 2 of your open rear guard circles. So, by himself, he becomes a 35k shield for a G-Guard flip, and that's very, very good. He's also the reason that this deck can get to GB8 so fast, because Mecha Trainer can search for heals, and he flips a G-Guard face up, which helps you get to GB8 faster. Sorry, I just hit my mic. Alright, so 3 Linus. It's essential. Now, next up, we run 2 Air Element Rictome. This is usually what I'll G-Guard with first. Its skill is choose a card from your hand and discard it. When it's placed on Guardian, draw a card. It's very simple. It's a Cray Elemental, which helps me with my Link Joker matchup. And it's just a good card in general. It's basically Ganon, and if you guys have been here long enough, you know how much I love Ganon. Alright, next we have Excellent Cheerleader Irie. She's just, if you have 3 or less rear guards, it gets plus 5 shield when it's placed. Very old G-Guard, it's the first one, but it's still good. And the last Stride unit is 1 Juggernaut Double Maximum. When it is placed on Guardian, you choose one of your grade 2 or less rear guards, and it gets plus 10,000 power. If you do, he gets 10,000 shield, and at the end of the turn, the rear guard that you gave the power to goes to the bottom of the deck. He is a situation G-Guard. He's good in certain instances, but most of the time, you just flip him with Linus. So the reason that we run 7 G-Guards, by the way, is because we can get to GB8 on first stride with 7 G-Guards. So let me explain. First attack, say it's a rear guard. You guard it with this. GB1. Now you can use your Linuses. You have 3 more heals in your hand. G-Guard with Linus. Flip a G-Guard. G-Guard with Linus. Flip a G-Guard. You can still use your G-Guards because there are only 3 face up in the G-Zone. G-Guard with Linus again. Flip a G-Guard. They all go back, and now you're at GB7. So you run 7 G-Guards so that if you end up somehow having all 4 heals in your hand, which actually isn't that hard to do, then you can GB8 on your first stride. And that is hard to deal with. Alright, so strides are done. I'm going to keep my clan card over here. Let me go grab the deck. It's over here. Alright, I got the deck. Now let's go ahead and move into the actual deck profile itself. So, first of all, for our starter, we run not 1, not 2, but 3 Mecha Trainers. Now, Mecha Trainer, I'm going to be honest, he's probably going to get limited, just because of how this deck works. But for now, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that he is not limited and run 3 copies of him. So his skill is, well, he's one of the starters that everybody uses in Spike Brothers, so you should know his skill, but he's basically a Conroe clone. Counterblast 1 to retire him, search your deck for a grade 1 or less Spike Brothers unit, add it to your hand, and reveal it to your opponent, add it to your hand. So the reason that this is going to get limited is because it's grade 1 or less. So you search for your heals, which gets you G-Guards, which also gets you to GB8. So you're guaranteed to have at least 1 G-Guard because you run Mecha Trainer as your starter. And then you run the other 2 so that you can possibly draw into him and get a 2nd or 3rd heal. It really just depends, but yeah. 3 Mecha Trainer, there we go. Okay, next, grade 3s. We run 4 Dudley Jessica, I know, right? Dudley build? Yeah, I'm cheap. I don't want to use Rising Nova. And even if I did, honestly, I think I'd use Jessica as the backup anyway, just because she's so good. So, GB2, all of the units in your front row with Dudley in their card names get plus 2,000 power. That's 13k. That is fantastic. So, she becomes a 13k base. Grade 3s in the front become 13k bases. And grade 2s become 11s. So Very good. Then, during your turn, when your G unit with Dudley in its card name strides, search your deck for one card with Dudley in its card name, call it to an open rear guard, shuffle, and that unit gets +5. Now, because of how this deck works now, I actually rarely use that on-stride skill, but regardless, this is still a very good card because that defense makes it very easy to block things. Because of her being at 13, Linus is 35, brings her to 48k all by herself. If your opponent is swinging with a Phantom Blast or Diablo and they're not boosting it, you can G-Guard once and 3 to pass them because of Jessica. Very, very, very threatening. It makes Spike Brothers have defense, which, wow. Okay, so next up on the list is 4 copies of Demonic Lord Dudley Lucifer. Now this was an oddball call. I did not expect to be using this when we went to California, but it helped a lot more than I thought it was going to. So, limit break 4, choose one of your rear guards and put it into your soul. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked a vanguard, you can pay the cost. If you do, choose one card from your hand and call it to rear guard. And if the unit you called had Dudley in its card name, that unit gets plus 10,000 power. So this is good against grade 2 game, because Spike Brothers, along with a lot of other decks, can't afford Seabreeze in the deck because we use our counterblasts too much. So this is a healthy, free alternative that gives you usually a 19k swing along with the 3 swings you're already bringing out. So he is a very, very good card as a backup to Jessica, because as much as I hate to say it, Turbo actually wasn't doing as much as I'd like him to. So Lucifer is very, very, very good in this deck. Sorry, I have to stretch all the way over there to put these over there. Okay, on to grade 2s. We run 4 Mason, pretty self-explanatory. Mason is stupid. Vanguard, Rearguard, Counterblast 1, and choose a Spike Brothers unit from your hand and put it into the soul. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, you can, if you have a Spike Brothers Vanguard, you can pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for a Spike Brother, call it to an open rearguard, and shuffle your deck. All he is ever for now is getting Mecha Trainer on the board. Like, he used to just be threatening because, oh, I'm going to get an extra attack and hit you even harder. No, now he's just Mecha Trainer. Get the extra heal. That's what he is. Which is kind of sad, but it works. All right, next grade 2 is we run 2 copies of Dudley Ingram. I don't use him often, but he is still good enough to have at least 2 in here. His ability is GB1. When your other unit with Dudley in its card name is placed on rearguard during the battle phase, this unit gets plus 3 until end of turn. Now, I genuinely wish that this wasn't GB locked, because not only is Dudley's one of the few decks that can actually still run Limit Break and be semi-threatening, but the GB1 kind of hinders him. Regardless, though, 2 copies of him, not bad at all. He's still a good card. Next, I run 1 copy of Earth Elemental Pockle, Potato, whatever you want to call him. Soul Blast 1, when he is placed on rearguard, if there's a face-up Cray Elemental in your G-Zone, see why I told you it's good for Link Joker matchups that I have, what's-her-face in here? Anyway, if there's a face-up Cray Elemental in your G-Zone, pay the cost. If you do, choose a locked card and unlock it. So this is very, very helpful for Freeze Ray matchups and just genuine Link Joker stuff, because most of the time, Link Joker will just destroy this deck. So it's a good card to have in here, especially when it toolboxes as well as it does. Last grade 2 of the deck, I run 4 copies of Mayhem Tiger. Mayhem Tiger is amazing. This card is so good. So, charge. That's his first skill. He has charge. So, oh, sorry, hit the tripod again. Okay, so, GB1, Soul Blast 1. When your opponent put a unit on Guardian during the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard, if it is charging, you can pay that cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less Guardians and retire it. This is not once per turn, and it does not care about Gurgwit. It does not care about intercepting. It does not care about superior guarding in any way, because it says put. It doesn't say from hand. It doesn't say placed. When a opponent puts a unit on Guardian, you can Soul Blast 1 and retire it if it is grade 2 or less. The only thing that can stop him are PGs, because he doesn't stop the cannot be nullified effect, and G-Guards, obviously, because G-Guards aren't grade 2 or less. So, very, very, very good card. He almost always forces 1 damage when they're not at 5, and when they are at 5, they drop everything to stop him from hitting. It is a fantastic card. Most of the time, he wins the game. All right, next, grade 1s. We run 3 Stride Fodders. Nothing really, not really much else to say. This deck is very, very Stride reliant, so you need Stride Fodders. So 3 of that. Let's move this to the other side so I can make room. So 3 Stride Fodders. All right, next we've got 2 Machine Gun Gloria. Machine Gun Gloria is a very good card for this deck. Counterblast 1, the end of the battle that it boosted a grade 1 or greater rearguard. Put the boosted unit on the bottom of the deck and draw a card. This is very good for recycling Mayhem Tigers in your hand that are in your hand early. It's very good for early draw pressure. And on top of all that, it's very, very good on Hellheart 8 turns, because if you boost with this and you use its skill, that's an extra attack because you just drew another card. So Gloria is very good in this deck. I only run 2 because I have a lot of grade 1s in here that I think are really good for the deck, and I wanted it to be a little diverse. I don't think it hinders you to run 2 of these, so just if you want to run more than 1, by all means, go ahead, but I wanted to make more space for stuff. So next, 2 Dudley Jetter. He is in here. Honestly, I don't even remember why he's in here. I like to ride him, but GB1, retire this unit. At the beginning of your ride phase, if you have a Vanguard with Dudley in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, until the end of the turn, if you stride a G unit with Dudley in its card name, you may stride without paying the cost the next time you stride. So this is very, very, very good for Dudley strides, but now I only have 1 Dudley stride, and that's Geronimo, and I don't usually need to go into him. But it is still good to have the free stride for Geronimo in the event that I have no Stride Fodders and no grade 3s in my hand. It's good to be able to still stride. So, 2 Jetter. Next, I run 2 Air Force Eliza. I might put a 3rd one of her in, but for now we're just running 2. She is very, very good. Charge. GB1, Counterblast 1. At the end of the battle that this unit boosted a charging unit, you may pay the cost. If you do, bind the boosted unit face up, call it to an open rearguard, and if this unit is charging, her specifically, then that unit gets plus 2,000 power. Then she goes to the bottom of the deck. Now, she is very, very, very good because she recycles him. 1 Counterblast equals another Mayhem Tiger swing, and that is really, really threatening on GB8 turns. So, very, very good card. I was going to say something about it, but I can't remember. Oh, well, I don't think it was that important. But yeah, 2 Eliza. Almost done, guys, almost done. We've got 1 Full-Speed Spectre. Charge, GB1, Counterblast 1. When this unit becomes charging, you may pay the cost. If you do, until end of turn, it gets plus 4,000 and can attack a Vanguard from the back row. So, he's another Link Joker counter, sort of. He's good, because say you only have 1 open rearguard circle, you can call him out, and then he can attack from the back. He's good. I run 1 just because it's mostly there for Link Joker, but on Picaro turns, he's good too. So it really just depends. Usually he's just good for Link Joker matchups. All right, last grade 1 in the deck, and this is going to surprise some people, but not too many. 2 PGs. Just 2. If you didn't already guess, I use a lot of G-Guards in this deck, so don't really need the PGs. I run 2 of them because there are some attacks that you just have to PG or you will die. And because I run 2, obviously I'm going to run the countercharge ones because countercharge is never a bad thing. So that's it for the main deck minus triggers, which is just 10 draws, 4 Linus heals, and 2 of the Rising crit because of Supernova. So 10 draw, 2 crit, 4 heal. That's gonna do it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content from Team Card Fighters United. And remember, guys, meta is disgusting.